Hi. So let's take a look at what is actually due. Okay, so the overall objectives are in this folder here. Okay, um, and it's also the first draft of the essay. Okay, so this part, so this is exactly what's due. Excuse me, it's tough being old. Oh my goodness. It's also what happens when you have tuna salad for lunch at 52. Well, there's no other choice. You either get old or you don't get old, so take it while you can. Yeah. All right. So there's a timeline due tomorrow night, as we talked about, the 29th. And I will extend that to the 30th for those of you who need it. But, the sooner you get it done, just the happier you'll be. Right. And the works cited page is due on Friday. The draft one, the complete essay, is due by Sunday, August 2nd. And then you're going to get really quick turnaround. I'm going to get it back to you by Sunday. Well, you're sending it to me Sunday night, so I'll get it back to you by Monday afternoon, Monday night, and then the final complete version will be due on Wednesday. Okay, it's very going to have to be very fast turnaround. Okay, it was not my decision to make the class the 5th. That's just the way that the school calendar worked out. Okay, so the ultimate objective is explain why and when the Black Lives Matter movement started and take a position on its effectiveness in changing people's attitudes, changing society, and reducing institutionalized racism in government, sports, and education. So, based upon your research, you're going to come up with 4 possible positions. You're only going to choose one, but you're going to have 4 possible positions. It is very effective. It is somewhat effective. It is somewhat ineffective. It is very ineffective. Whichever position you choose, that's fine. Just be sure to fully research and support your position. Now, the first part of the essay to be due is the chronology, the timeline. And you should research the timeline of the Black Lives Matter movement and identify why and when it started, who started it, how it started. Identify five significant events in the Black Lives Matter movement and summarize each one in no more than 3 sentences, just like what you saw on the examples. So let's take a look at the examples again. One example would be this timeline here. And you can see you have the event and then the summary. Remember, do not copy, do not copy, do not copy. Okay, summarize and use the same skills that you did for the summary essay. Okay, you could do this format, excuse me, or you could do this format. Okay, or you could do this format, whichever one you feel is better for your purposes. Okay. See the example time chronology in this week's module. Before you submit yours, your submission must look like one of the template chronologies in the week 4 module. Okay, yep. So, this is not the time to get overly creative. The course is short. So just pick a template that I've already provided and reproduce it. Don't copy it, reproduce it. What I mean is use the format that you like, but the content should be your own, or must be your own. And you will submit this separately by July 29th, 2020. And there's a link for that. I'll show you. And then if you don't get into the 30th, that's fine. But basically what I'm looking for is quick approval, which means that if I have to start correcting it for you, I'm not gonna. I can't. There's just not enough time to correct every little piece for you. So it's basically going to be, you know, not quite pass fail, but it's either going to be 100. It's either going to be an a C, or an F. Okay. There's really not time to be getting in there and teaching you how to do it, especially when the or fixing your mistakes, especially when there's plenty of samples that you can look at. So please go for the easy A and just do it right the first time. Okay. The second objective, which is due on Friday, and this is kind of a big deal, this one here, is the MLA formatted works cited page. Okay. You should have at least 7 entries, right? So you actually have to do some research to figure out what you want to use. Now, you have the articles that I gave you for the other readings, for the other essays, and you actually have these 3 timelines. So you might just have to find 1 or 2 more articles on your own. Okay. And then you have to follow the formatting rules for the MLA works cited page, and that'll be in another video, plus the videos that have already been uploaded. Please make sure they look like the final product that is on the Purdue webpage. If it, punctuation, capitalization, alphabetical order, italics, underlining, all of that. This is a pass-fail type of deal. So if I have to look at one entry and make a lot of corrections and point out where everything is wrong, I'm not going to go through all the other entries and figure that out as well. I'm just going to tell you that you didn't pass it, and you'll have to redo it again. Okay, so please make sure that you follow the formats. Okay. Very carefully, very attentively. Again, do it right the first time so you don't have to do it another time. Okay. And I know this is strict, but MLA formatted works cited pages are very important for college writing. Okay. The third component, which is due on Sunday, is the complete first draft. Okay. And you can read here the criteria, but I want to point out 900 to 1,000 words is needed to qualify for an A. It doesn't mean you will earn an A, but to qualify for an A, you need 900 to 1,000 words to qualify for an A. If you have less than that, you won't be able to qualify for an A. And that does not include the works cited page or the chronology. Okay, that 900 to 1,000 needs to be the text. Okay. You should have 8 to 10 citations, in-text citations. Okay. And your, just as a reminder, anything that appears as an in-text citation must have an associated works cited page entry. And then your outline, basically the outline is this here. This part 1 is a chronology. It should be at the front of the paper when you turn it in. Part 2 should be content. Paragraph number 1 is the introduction. What is the Black Lives Matter movement? Why did it start? When did it start? How did it start? Who, if you can find it, initiated the movement? What are its objectives? How effective has it been? Okay. Now you'll notice that this last question, how effective has it been, is a response question. So you can say, I think. Do not use you. Do not use you. You can say I because it's your perspective. Don't use you. Don't use your. Don't use yours. Don't use yourself, yourselves. Okay? No you. It's first person singular. I. You can say I. Okay? If you're referring to you and a member of your family or your friends, you can say we. But don't include the readers as part of your we. okay, and absolutely no U's. Okay, and that's for the entire essay. Paragraph number 2. What was one major event in the Black Lives Matter movement that caught your attention? Okay, again, this is a little bit of a response, but, why was it important to you? Why did it catch your attention? How did that event influence your perceptions about its objectives, the objectives of the Black Lives Matter movement, and its effectiveness? Again, no you. You can say I. We, if you're talking about you the writer, and your friends and your family. But other than that, there should be no we and no you. Paragraph number 3 is the second event. Paragraph number 4 is the third event, and the most significant one. So save the most significant one for last. Like build up for it. Okay, this could be like somewhat important, more important, and then most important. Okay. And then paragraph 5 is the conclusion. After you're completing your research, determine to what degree the Black Lives Matter movement has been effective. How would you advise the leaders to become more effective? And what have you learned from your research? What do you want the readers to take away from your observations and conclusions? Again, don't say you. Don't talk to the reader. And then part 3 is the works cited page. Okay. And the final version is all these same things, just for more points. As I said earlier, if you do the first draft awesomely, and you earn an A, then there would be no reason for you to do a second draft. Remember, though, that you must have the chronology, the content, and the works cited page submitted all together. You submit the chronology by itself, and you submit the works cited page by itself. But when you actually submit the first draft, it all has to be one document. Please don't email me later and say, oh, I forgot to include it. No, don't forget. Use this as a checklist. Please make sure. I know I'm being very strict about this, but we've got a week and a half to go, and there's really no time to keep doing things over and over again. It wastes your time and it wastes my time. So please be careful. Please be thorough. Okay? If you have any questions about the content, certainly contact me and I'll be happy to help you with that. Okay? If you need help with the writing, like how to do the works cited page, how to do the chronology, contact me and I'll be happy to help you. I'll set up a one-to-one Zoom meeting with you. Okay? All right. That's it for this video. More videos in a moment or two.